concerns this afternoon about another possible COVID surge in the future. The subvariant BA2 is fueling outbreaks throughout other parts of the world right now. Channel 3's Kara Sunland spoke to the state public health commissioner about what they're seeing.
Dr. Manisha Juthani, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So we know that this wave has been happening in Europe. So you expect that it's inevitable we're going to have an uptick here?
We've been seeing and watching this wave go through Europe, starting to see beginnings in wastewater that we've been sampling, looking at what's happening in New York City and Fairfield County, which usually predicts what's going to happen in the rest of Connecticut. We've seen our test positivity going up. So I think we can be pretty confident that we will see something, whether it's going to be a slow plateau, a larger rise, a medium rise, we don't know exactly. I do not anticipate it's going to be a huge peak like we've seen in the past in the winters, but I do anticipate a rise.
So this BA2 variant, are symptoms different, or how does it present in people?
Basically the same way that many people have seen with Omicron, which is what this is, a subvariant of Omicron. And symptoms are the same as all COVID symptoms. Really no difference there, no difference in severity, but we know that people present the way they do with COVID.
And we've been reading it's more transmissible, that it's more contagious. Is that true? And if so, what do we do about it?
Yes, it is true. It seems to be more infectious, more contagious than the original BA1 subvariant of Omicron. And so, I think if you are older, if you are immunocompromised, wearing a mask right now is protective to yourself. This is not a mandate. This is not recommended or necessary as a public health messaging to be able to protect our healthcare systems. Nevertheless, for anybody, wearing a mask right now can certainly be protective to prevent you from getting this infection.
And you really want people to get boosters. And recently people over 50 could get a second booster.
So, we know that about half our population in Connecticut that's eligible for boosters has gotten them, but there are many people that are eligible still to get a first booster. If you're going on spring break, if you're visiting family for upcoming holidays, it's a good time to get your booster. If you're older, 50 and older, you are now eligible for a second booster. What we've seen in this pandemic is age is the greatest risk factor for bad outcomes with COVID. And so if you're concerned, if you are older, if you have more comorbidities, I would strongly recommend that you consider going out and getting that second booster because it is relatively well tolerated and a simple intervention you can do to help protect yourself.
Dr. Juthani, thank you so much for your time. Commissioner of Public Health, thank you for being with us to share some information.
Thanks so much for having me.